Welcome back, and I'm your boy Bear Jags. Most of you may have seen this recent video making its way around the internet of this whistleblower claiming to have encountered a UFO and an alien on the side of a highway in the state of Nevada. I must admit, we're all curious and want to find out the truth, searching down rabbit holes and looking for evidence. Personally, I feel we need to do an investigation. So I'm going to look into this myself, and we're going to follow along together and see what this fella has to say.
Yeah, and it's on the way to Quartz Mountain that I have the encounter. I am sitting there in the vehicle. I've got the driver. He's the ranking individual. We're in the lead vehicle, and I'm sitting right behind the driver. And then there's another.
You're in the back seat.
I'm in the back seat.
Okay. Is it a four-door truck?
It's a four-door truck. So, yeah. And then the guy in the front, right, in the passenger side, and then there's another person to my right, a young lady to my right.
So what he's saying, he's obviously with some people. He's got some eyes on the situation. He's not alone. Okay, keep it going.
So anyway, we're just traveling as we normally do. And we always convoy just in case somebody does break an axle or whatever, and we can pick them up. So there's this guy in a uniform. Looks like he's coming down the left-hand shoulder of the road.
How far away?
We noticed him when he was about a football field away.
Okay.
And he's kind of like standing there, and then he saw us, and he started like running towards us.
Okay, so they're in the middle of absolutely no place, supposedly. And there's just some dude running down the road.
And he had this funny look to his running. It was like he was falling forward all the time, or like he was running against a really strong wind.
Is he running in a way that would suggest, oh, this seems like a human?
Yes, somewhat, yeah. He looked about human size and everything else. Yeah, everything, he just looked like he had a uniform on like mine, and he was just running towards us.
Okay, I'm a little confused here. I'm going with it. I'm just going to continue rolling with this. I'm sort of like, it's sort of losing me a little bit, but let's keep it going. Let's see what he has to say.
And as we approach, that's when I noticed his skin had this blue tint to it, like he was hypothermic. That's what I thought. My immediate thought was that he was hypothermic and he needed help.
So it's like it's white skin, but it's turned like almost the blood's rushing. It's not like a dark ocean blue or something.
Oh, no.
Like that.
It's definitely not like dark navy blue or anything.
Right.
No, this is just like you or I. We're cold as all get out, and we're starting to freeze. That's what it looked like to me.
I almost feel like this guy's making this up as he goes along. I'm not trying to like knock him out of his play here, but at the same time, something seems a little fishy. I don't know. Let's keep it rolling.
So anyway, we get closer and closer, and he's only a few feet away from the car, and we're slowing down. And the guy in the front seat, that's where I mentioned in the film with you that's when he screams out that he's got no ears. The guy in the front seat. And I'm like...
Oh, wait. The driver in the front seat is the first person that realized that this thing was not even real. It was like, obviously, an alien. If someone said he has no ears, you might want to take a look before you just jump out. But then again, I don't know. I wasn't there. Let's keep it rolling.
The passenger side guy in the front seat says he's got no ears. And I'm thinking, how rude. You know, this guy's probably fighting for his life here, hypothermic, and you're talking about his ears, you know? So I'm popping open the door. I'm trying to take my jacket off at the same time because I'm thinking I got to wrap him in something because he's hypothermic. And that's when I step out onto the roadway and I'm shutting the door. And that's when I look up at him and I'm realizing he has no ears and his eyes are twice as big than normal.
Okay. This is the point where I personally believe I would have like slithered my ass back into the back seat, possibly rolled down the window, and then asked this thing what it was doing. Okay, I don't know if I would have stood there. Fight or flight moment, but from what I'm hearing here, if this is the first time you've ever encountered something like this, especially in the absolute middle of no place, you're just gonna jump out and be a buddy here? I'm sorry, you might have to freeze to death today, pal.
And he does indeed have this blue tint, and that's when I felt like really scared because I was like, oh crap, what did I walk into here?
That was right.
How close is he to you now?
He's only like 3 feet. It's like,
he's right in front of you.
It's like, you know, me and Jane's apart.
Is he looking you in the eyes?
Not immediately. He kind of, as I'm shutting the door and he realizes that I'm about ready to engage with him, he was like looking at the driver. I don't know what he was thinking about doing.
Okay. If he's looking at the driver, okay, this is what I'm thinking. If he's looking at the driver, he may be thinking it's time to steal the car. Okay, I don't know if you're a smart man or not, bud, but if he's staring at the driver, not really talking to you, it's obvious he has ulterior motives. Get back in the car.
But maybe he was going to hail him or knock on the window. I don't know.
Are you looking to see if he's armed?
No.
No.
I'm just more concerned for his health.
Okay.
At that point, because if he's on the range, I'm thinking he's in a uniform. There were no red flags for me to sit there and think like, oh, this is the criminal or this is some fugitive that's on the run, or stuff like that. This guy just looked like a dude in a BDU uniform or battle dress uniform like I had. So anyway, but now I'm looking at him straight on. I'm like, holy crap, this dude does not look human. And I'm starting to get really scared, but then he talks to me.
Wait a minute. He talks to you? You're losing me, bud. You're losing me. I'm getting lost. Just keep it rolling.
And that calms me down because I had to respond. And he's wanting to fix and repair his craft. And he's asking for that material, the tantalum.
What did his voice sound like?
It was not English at all. He did have an auditory. He spoke.
Wait a minute. This thing's in the desert, in the middle of no place, in the cold. And it's telling you that it needs to fix its craft. I'm waiting for the ice cream truck to pull up so I can get myself a bomb pop. Keep it rolling.
But it sounded more like Norwegian or something like that.
So you couldn't understand what he spoke, but you could understand what he was saying because there was something telepathic going on.
Right. I could understand what he was saying, regardless of what he was actually saying.
What was he saying?
He was saying, my craft is damaged. I need some material to repair it. Do you have any tantalum? And I was like, is that titanium? He's like, no. And so I was like, well, pointed over to the Dreamland, Groom Lake.
Okay.
And I said those people might have some high-tech metals and things like that.
So not only did the UFO crash, supposedly, and the alien interact with this guy right here, this ex-soldier, the unfortunate alien had to talk and deal with, from what I'm seeing, an idiot. This guy may not be that bright. This guy is the Peter Griffin of the military. Sorry for saying that.
And this wave of emotion hits me like disgust. Like I'm not asking people like, barbarians for that.
From him, he's saying that.
He's saying this, and I'm getting that telepathic emotion of his being disgusted about it, me even mentioning it.
Yeah, thank you. He just said exactly what I was thinking. This alien is actually like completely exhausted with this guy already. He's like, wow, not only did I crash on this dumpy planet in the middle of a desert, I'm also dealing with a potato. That might be a little heavy, but this guy, come on, keep it rolling.
Are you at all looking at the guys at any point here who are with you?
Yeah, I tended to look over a couple of times.
And what are they doing?
They look like they were just zonked like zombies.
This alien's probably thinking, here's a guy that's eating double cheeseburgers and putting extra frosting on a Pop-Tart and doesn't even know what tantalum is.
Like, I almost laughed. Really, they looked comical. Like, just totally.
Literally like the Men in Black movie where people are stunned.
Yeah, and they're just, they're just kind of like, they're just zoned out.
Yep.
That's what they looked like.
Okay, so now he's saying his friends are like hypnotized by the alien. They probably are a little surprised to see the damn thing. But at the same time, now they're like zonked out. Maybe, just maybe, let's go out of the box a little bit here, but maybe, just maybe, they clam baked some 1982 skunk butt in that truck, and they were tripping. That stuff was strong back in the day, I'll tell you what. That stuff was strong.
You're reacting to what's happening right here, and you're having this communication, so there's like a lot of senses going on here.
Right.
But first of all, how long is this full encounter with him? We're going to get to
Not
how it
very
ended,
long.
but
It couldn't have been more than 5 minutes.
okay. Is there a point in there where you are like, holy shit, I'm talking to a fucking alien?
Thank you. I mean, let's be realistic. If you saw an alien in the middle of the freaking highway, in the middle of no place, I personally don't know if I'd be up there being like, hey, let me help you out. Here's a Band-Aid. You need a Coca-Cola? E.T. phone home. this guy may be just making this up.
Well, yeah, after I realized this guy's talking another language, I'm being preoccupied by his constant talking to me. And I got the distinct impression that I was like in a holy crap situation. So yeah, I felt definitely that there was definitely that this person was not human.
So how does it end? You talk for 5 minutes. What happens?
He ends up going back to his craft.
Wait a moment. So you're saying he gets back in his craft, he doesn't say thanks for nothing, he doesn't even say, okay, I gotta get going, I'm late, I'm heading someplace else. He just jumps in his craft. This guy may not be the brightest potato in the sack. It's not that he's not intelligent, but he just doesn't know how to explain anything. There's too many bits and pieces here. There's not enough detail here for me. Keep it rolling.
He gets into it, and as he's traveling above the roadway and travels off in the south to southeast range, or of the range, and it's kind of towards Vegas actually, and he just takes off, and then everybody in the car finally is coming to, and they don't have that zonked out look anymore.
What does the craft look like, by the way?
It's kind of got a bulbous cockpit, and it's got like a little pad or footprint thing that comes off of it. Mm-hmm.
How big?
Wait a minute. This guy knows too much about this craft. It's nighttime. You can't see anything. He's 50 freaking yards away, but he knows it for detail. Oh, it can fit 2 people. It can fit. Why'd you say people? Didn't you mean fit 2 aliens? I'm not stepping in what you're sniffing.
It can hold like 2 people, like a cockpit of a fighter jet.
Had you ever seen anything like it before?
Never. So we literally knew what the bombers, the fighters, the aircraft, every type of aircraft, we already knew what they looked like. And this fit none of it. And that's exactly the feeling I had, because it had a bulb, like an egg-shaped cockpit that was about the same size as a normal fighter jet cockpit would look like. It has this black pancake egg.
I think this guy is thinking about having a big breakfast right now. Pancake. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm at the point right now. He better come up with some real compelling evidence real quick, because I'm not buying what he's selling.
It's flat. It's about a foot or foot and a half wide, sticking out the back where like if it was a helicopter, it would have been the tail of the helicopter. And then you see those helicopters that have like a big rounded canopy or whatever, where the pilots sit.
Yes.
That's kind of what it looked like, but it was all white, except for this black pancake. When I was getting out of the car, I definitely looked to my left as well, and that's when I saw it full on.
Was the craft parked on the road or in the desert?
It was in the desert. It was off the road, because as we were traveling, this is the road towards Quartz Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to feel like this guy has like the most extensive DVD collection of sci-fi movies in existence. And he possibly is building this narrative over generations in his head of this scenario that he wants to see unfold. And now he's coming forth for probably some sort of notoriety, or like my time to shine. You know what I mean? He's just trying to let me go viral.
The craft was off to the side of the road, off the shoulder of the road, in the desert.
Do you think you'd be able to take us back to that exact location?
I could point exactly where it was. I could get you probably within about 10 feet.
How did the conversation end, by the way? Like, what was the last thing
he just
said?
Well, when I mentioned talking to those people and he got disgusted, it ended pretty quick after that.
Stop saying talking. You just said telepathically communicating. I don't buy it. This guy's not selling it to me right now. I'm not interested. Could be BS.
So he goes back to the craft. Now, the craft had a problem with it. He said he needed some shit, but he takes off in it.
Yeah.
When it takes off, does it make any noise?
Yeah, kind of like a strange sort of I don't know how to put it. What could I equate it to? It's kind of like, you ever hear your fan belt squeaking in your car?
Yes.
Like, it's kind of like that.
Oh my God. Okay, alien technology is going to squeak like an old Honda Civic.
Yeah, it kind of takes off like this, and then gaining altitude or losing altitude, that's the part that was broken.
This guy, he may have had one too many bomb pops.
And then at some point he disappears from view.
Right. Yeah, he just takes off and goes out of view.
All right, now you're no longer zonked guys are standing there, right?
Well, they're all in the car. Nobody else got out of their cars. And as the guy is traveling back and I'm getting back in the car, they all come to. No, nobody is talking about it. And I'm like, did you guys see that? And they're like, no. Yeah, and they're like, no.
Wait a second. He's being way too nonchalant right here. I'd be like screaming, jumping around. There's no way. Because if I saw an alien and they said, oh, what are you talking about? I'd be like slapping people up. Remember, I'd be splashing coffee in their face. I'd be kicking people in the nuts. Come on now. Keep it rolling.
And I'm like, okay, well, let's just get to work. The ranking guy, I think he saw it.
No.
I know he saw some of it because he was the only one
This
that
guy's
flat
a liar.
out said no and don't talk about it.
You think that at least some of them may have had some lost time on this?
Yes.
Can you explain what lost time is?
Objection. Leading the witness.
That's just a portion of time where you're either physically hit in the head and you can't remember, or some other means, like you've hear from abduction scenarios from other people, where somehow these creatures are able to, turn you off. And then I've heard from other people that there's actually maybe even a time-space kind of a phenomenon that's encountered with other craft where their radios turn off and all the electrics in their car turn off, and then they get, they have missing time.
We've all seen Travis Walton's movie. This guy watches it on rerun.
But at the same time, they feel like nothing happened.
It really resonated with me that when you made eye contact with this thing, this being, critter, person, whatever, that you almost had this snake bite.
Objection. Leading the witness.
What was that? Where did that...
That was the very first part of the conversation, because that was when I shut the door and I looked up. It's like...
And you got eyes with him?
Right, and I locked eyes, and it was the strangest freaking set of eyes I'd ever seen. It was like a crocodile was freaking looking at me.
I search for the truth. This is not the truth. I don't think yet. Still listening in. Can't be too critical yet, but still, at this point, still crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
And my fear instinct just went spiked. I was like, holy crap. There was definite fear. I was like, holy crap, this guy's not, he's an alien. I was like, ugh. It was kind of the same thing you get if you stumble onto a rattlesnake. That's what it felt like. I mean, you just scared to death. You're like, oh crap. That's what I felt.
But you didn't feel threatened in the sense that that your well-being was at stake.
Here was a sentient being that I couldn't explain.
This guy's imagination is on point. He's amazing. Okay, this guy is so awesome. I want to sit down with this guy and just pick his brain. I could write like a novel off what he's talking about right now. He will just create some stuff as he goes. He's like a AI, artificial intelligence, full of BS. He's like just spewing out of his mouth. It's like rolls out. It's just like, I'm not buying what you're selling, pal.
What happened? So you get in the car, they kind of come to, you're like, did you just see that? Some guys are like, no, what happens next? You guys just drive back to where
Oh, yeah.
Objection. Leading the witness.
Well, we had to be at Black Mountain by a certain time to start our equipment up and everything else. So that was the foremost in our mind, or everybody else's mind. I was still reeling from the whole thing that I had just experienced.
What's going on here? This guy is absolutely insane. We're trying to find the truth, and this guy's trying to find a Wendy's.
I'm just like, holy crap, what just happened? Kind of just in shock, complete shock. And only the ranking guy was the one that I know remembers some of it, at least, because I talked to him later on.
Wait. You're saying everyone just wanted to get to work. No one wanted to talk about this thing. No one wanted to, interact. No one wanted to sit down and be like, listen, this is insane. We really had a situation here today. No, we just had an alien. No big deal. I had to go back and file some paperwork, keep the artillery shells coming.
There was like a compelling something that told me, go.
When you got to the place.
Yeah, when we got to Black Mountain. Yeah. So I ate lunch and I walked down, and this is where my missing time comes in. I walked down about 100, 150 feet down the road from the top of Black Mountain, and I don't remember anything.
Okay, my spidey senses are on fire right now. It's like rampage mode. I am not buying any of this. I'm sorry. I want to believe it. We all want to. But this is misleading. I don't believe it at all. Personally, I don't. Maybe some of you do, as I'm constantly searching for the truth. I personally believe I have a pretty good understanding of a lie and the facts. So what I just saw there was a desperate man trying to get some notoriety and possibly trying to go viral. I don't know. It must be working because he's going viral. But here, Bear Jags said, no, sirree, Bob. So, on a scale of honesty, I'm gonna have to give this one a 3. I'm gonna go with a 3 on this, bud. It's like a traveling snake oil salesman. I will continue to scour and search the internet for the truth. And I will find the truth. I'm your boy, Bear Jags. Thanks for following along on my journey. And remember to like and subscribe for more exciting content just like this. And until the next one, peace out.